My name is Fiona McKay and I'm one of the directors of a business called Seminars and Solutions. There is no bigger piece of change, in my opinion, than the agency workers regulations. Do any of you know when it's going to come into effect? 1st of October 2011. Today's session is going to take away all the legal jargon. What's it all about? Who's it going to affect? And more importantly, what do we need to do to apply this successfully? I'd like to ask you some questions. What are your biggest issues around the agency workers regulations? What's concerning you the most? Is it going to be equal treatment in terms of working conditions? Is it pay or is it holiday? And 1 in 3 employers said that they expected to increase their use of temporary agency workers within the next 12 months. And it's about making sure that temporary agency workers have equal treatment. But what does equal treatment mean? It's also important that the regulations are clear about the responsibilities of the end user. You really need to start doing your planning now of what your temp headcount is going to be in 12 months' time. So we're now in what's called the implementation phase. What qualifies as 12 weeks? Can we break that continuity? Can we stop that clock? What percentage of you here today actually have patterns of assignments which are longer than 12 weeks in duration? Right, so you're nearly all, 90% of you are in scope then, aren't you? Now, some of you might be sat here now thinking, I've come up with a really great idea. I know what I'm going to do. Every 10 weeks, I think I'm just going to churn the temps and move everybody around. Bad news is that the Department of Business are all over that. And it's going to be vital that you work with a recruitment partner who is a beacon of excellence, who can truly make sure that the right people are in the right jobs. So what happens if we get this wrong? If you put in place what's called sham arrangements, which means you're going to be quite creative at moving people round every 10 weeks or so. That's what's called an anti-avoidance provision. Tribunals are going to be empowered to make what's called recommendations, which means they can give you a very, very stern and sharp warning to go back to your organisation and change your working practices. One of the biggest pieces of risk is the Equality Act, which is coming into effect on the 1st of October this year. It also brings into its scope discrimination through association, discrimination through perception, and discrimination through third-party harassment. So we've got a really changing environment out there. So who's going to be liable for what? It is absolutely vital that your line managers understand this legislation. Getting your line manager training up to speed significantly reduces cost, it increases productivity, it increases profitability and performance. We provide employment law training specifically for leaders and line managers in their operational language. That is what Seminars and Solutions is all about.